Welcome back, champions. War number 10 is here, and we're officially in the home stretch of season 57. It's been a good run so far, but I want to finish strong. And to do that, I'm bringing in some serious firepower. We've got Ironheart. We've got whitetiger. And making his big-time debut, my brand new rank 4 SPT-2 nickfury. That's right, Director Fury is now a 7-star, and he's reporting for war duty. 3 wars left. Let's kick things off and see how we do. All right, we start off on our typical path for first fight up is going to be this Rintrah. Gonna use Ironheart. Not the ideal counter for this, but the nice thing about Ironheart is as long as she's got an armor up, she's gonna have immunity to reverse controls, so I don't have to worry about reverse controls at all in this fight. And it's just going to be a little bit slower, just simply because Rintrah is tanky. I'm going to try to be careful and watch the neutralize, watch his power gain, things like that. You know, we're going to bait specials early. Just going to be safe. You know, the ruptures are going to work. You can see he's got 14 charges. You know, I don't like him building up charges that quickly, so we do have to be careful of that throughout this fight. Here, we're going to let them drop off. Like I said, we're just going to fight this slow. We're going to let the fight come to us. You know, we're going to drop our special ones. We're going to stack as many ruptures as we can. Keep his power gain under control. Keep his little charges there under control. And just try and get through this as clean as possible. You know, it's nice not having to worry about reverse controls. I always try to find a champion on this node that is immune to it. Doesn't always work out. There we take a unfortunate couple little hits. And you can see just a couple little hits. 18% health. I've got a rupture on me. I've got the petrifies going. So, you know, I'm just losing a little bit of health here and there. You know, we're going to try to use a little bit of willpower healing here. Heal up near the end. Drop another special one. Finish off Rintrah. Unfortunately, we're going to have to drop a potion into Ironheart to heal her up. But we're done with that fight. Now we get to use Nick Fury. Really wanted to bring him into this war before I put him on war defense, so I at least can use him in one war. And here we go. So this is my new 7-star, rank 4, SPT-2 Nick Fury, thanks to Heart of Fire. You know, the dude is going to be an absolute beast, both on attack and on defense in various modes. So here you go. You can see we do, a couple little hits, she evades, we do a couple more, and, well, by the time I get around to explaining anything, Cassie's dead, and not a bad start for Nick Fury. Not the toughest fight in the world, but, a nice little 30-second takedown to get him started. All right, let's move on to a slightly harder test for Nick Fury. This is still just a 6-star. It's Spider-Ham, so he can be tricky, but yeah, not for Nick. It's pretty comfortable, using a Nick Fury this size when he's got that second life. So you're going to see here, 5-hit combo. We do a 4-hit combo just to bait out his special, and we're going to counter his special with a heavy. And now it's just time to finish off the pig. 5-hit combo. That was 15 hits. 18 seconds. What more can be said? All right, and a fight we haven't had in at least a little bit. We've got Dust here on node 31. So we're going to be coming in with Ironheart, and let's see if we can remember how we do this fight. Like I said, after the Rintrah fight, it is going to cost us a heal. There's that heal. And let's jump into this fight. I am going to think about throwing on a 3-minute boost. I didn't do it. I felt, you know what? I'm pretty comfortable with this without it. So let's go in here. You know the drill. We're going to back away at the beginning. We just want to get a good clean parry. I like getting the incinerate on there early if we can. It just does help things a little bit. So here we go. We do a medium, light, medium. Medium, light, medium. What you're going to see here is the counter is going to tick down. We're going to get the power sting on us, but we get over 10 attacks. Remove that power sting, drop that special 1. Now, ideally, we want her to throw special 2s, so we back away, and we push her over 2 bars. Now she throws a special 2. Easy to dex, easy to counter, but we are a little late on the counter there, and she dexed us. Kind of worried me, to be honest, there. So what you're seeing here is now I'm playing around the power sting so that it's not on when I parry her. And of course, I messed up the timing, hitting my 20th, and the power sting came on the second after I hit 20. So we just have to wait. We throw our special 1 after we go over 30 to remove the power sting. Now let's bait a special 2. Dex out of it. Counter. There we go. And dust is down. Very, very clean dust takedown on that. I really like it when I can do that nice and clean like that one. All right, let's jump ahead to the mini bosses now, and we've got this big old beefy Maestro here, and I'm going to be trying to use whitetiger. Like I said a couple wars ago, just recently took her to rank 3 because I wanted to learn to play her. Still very much learning to play her and, you know, kind of the optimal rotation and what I need to do when, and you'll see that throughout this fight. So, you know, we are going to throw a power start 1 because ideally what I want is 2 special 1s fairly early. Because that does get me, I believe, 4 Furies. So here you go. We do a couple hits. We do our first special 1. There's 2 Furies. We're almost back up to a special 1. So we're going to do a few more hits. We're going to throw another special 1. And there we go. We've got 4 Furies up now. Now we just want to bait out his special. Can't really counter them on this node, unfortunately, because of the Footloose. So, you know what? We end up with a second special 1. Here, I try to do a little hit. It worked, but then I got caught on the dash back. And I am unblockable right now on my specials, so I throw this, miss the first couple hits. That's kind of where the gameplay with Tiger is kind of lacking. I don't know the spacing yet. I've got to really work on that, on, you know, figuring out how far that jump in is on that special 2. Now, here we go. We just need him to throw another special. We dex all of it. You know, even as ugly and as bad as we've played this, she's handling the fight pretty well. We're just looking for an opening. He throws a heavy. I was hoping to be up to a special 2. Wasn't quite there. Get there. As he's throwing the heavy, we throw our special 2. I could have thrown another special right there. I was unblockable. We waited. Not the biggest deal. Now we just need to hit him again to finish off the fight. And, you know, Maestro's down. Not clean. Not pretty at all. Still got a lot to learn, but it was full attack bonus. We're skipping the left island, we're jumping right to the middle island, and we're going to take on this Attuma here. And, well, you know, when I see Attuma, I go Ironheart as my default. Yeah, she doesn't do much for the thorns, but you know what? Those incinerates are nice to put on there. And this node makes it a little bit of a pain because here you have to kind of back away at the beginning because the empathetic lock. So we've got to wait until our armor up comes, which is going to be here in just a second. Now we've got an armor up. Now we are immune to incinerate, but unfortunately we're in shock mode. So, you know, we do a couple small little hits there just to get an incinerate going. There was kind of an accidental intercept, but, you know, now we're in incinerate mode. Now we can go into hitting him. And for whatever reason with Attuma, I really like baiting his special 1s. I know it's not ideal. I just have a hard time with that slow-moving projectile that's at the beginning of his special 2. I typically dex too early, and, well, that special 2 can hurt. So here, we're just going to kind of play it safe. Now we're waiting for him to give us an opening. There we go. We get a little intercept. Now that we're back over to incinerate mode, he's standing there in the corner as the timer just runs down. It's like the AI knows I'm using an incinerate immune champ and, well, don't want to attack him while he is in shock mode. And, oh, you know, he gets a little bit more aggressive when he's in shock mode. Now he's unblockable. Now, okay, now we can go. Just give me an opening here, my friend. I think here we're going to throw our special 1. Now we just need one more opening, and then we can do a 5-hit combo into a striker, which is kind of the plan. There we go. He gives us that opening, and we're going to do that 5-hit combo into the striker. And the Attuma drops dead there. And we jump up to Boss Island now, and we're going to be taking this out of Warlock. You can see that I've healed up whitetiger. Well, you know, this is another fight that I really need to learn. You know, I think she'd be good for this node. The main thing on this node, for whatever reason, I constantly mess up the timers in the fight or flight and the falter. So you'll see that a couple times here throughout, that there are times that I hit him and I'm faltered. There are times that, you know, I'm not far enough away when fight or flight triggers and he gets the unstoppable. So it's not the biggest deal. here you can see we get a nice special 1. Fight going very, very well at the beginning. There, see, like I said, I missed the timer there. I tried to do an intercept and, well, kind of took a little bit of a hit back there. Now I'm faltered. Like I said, it just, now I've got the unstoppable, and I kind of messed up thinking that the timer for the falter was coming. Now I'm faltered again and again. It's just, they're trying to keep the timers and all that straight in this fight, to me, is very, very hard. Especially when there's so many buffs, so many other things going on. So, you know what? I just kind of revert to, you know what? Let's just hit this guy in the face. I'm decent at that. I can hit him in the face. There. We just need to get a special 2. And of course, I am faltered the whole way throughout the special. I take a couple hits. I'm going to wait for that falter to drop off. I'm going to throw a special. Well, guess what? I'm not unblockable this time, and he's unstoppable. Oh, geez. Just let's get out of this fight. Hey, I hit him once. Figured he'd still be stunned. No, he wasn't. Now I'm faltered again. You can kind of see here, this fight goes south pretty darn quick. Now I'm just backing away. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to hit him with a striker, and then I'm going to hit him when he's stunned, and we can finish the fight off. First 3/4 of that fight, pretty good. Last quarter, are really ugly. And last fight up is going to be this Node 49. I wasn't going to take this fight, but I thought, you know what? Nick's healthy. Nick's got a second life. Why not try it? You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? So here we go. You know, plan for this fight is just to stack on as many bleeds as I can. With the polka dot power, I'm going to get him back. You know, I'm not going to be able to stun the guy, so we're going to let him throw the first hit of his heavy, and then we're going to counter it just like that. He does get the auto block there at the start. Not the biggest deal. He didn't hit me too hard. You can see here I do have recoils on, so that does help me in this fight a little bit damage-wise. Like I said, I wasn't planning on taking this. I came back after I did some arena and said, yeah, you know what? He's open. Let's go ahead and try it. And here, we're going to throw a special 1. Didn't want to throw the special 2s for the risk of the stun. So here we go. Bait another special 1. Dex, counter. You can kind of see how this fight's going to go. The bleeds do okay damage. I mean, they're not the strongest bleeds in the game. That one bleed was ticking for about 7,500 a tick, though. So, you know, not terrible. There we go. And this is all the fight's going to be. Here, we're going to throw our striker in there. We're going to throw a heavy. We're going to bait a special 1. And now we did get up to a special 2. You know, you'll see here that I'm kind of playing around now. I'm trying to figure out, okay, he's got 3 tokens up. I don't want to hit him because of the auto block if I can help it. There we go. So we removed a couple of them. Now we pushed ourselves back out of the special 2 up to a special 3. Now we can throw that because he's not going to be stunned. And we do. So, you know, we kind of played that smart. We got over the 2 bars of power. We didn't throw it on the chance of the stun. Fight's going okay. You know, I still have my whole second life if I do screw up. You know, decent damage from the special 3. Bait out another special. It's not the fastest Nick Fury fight. You can see there, we kind of removed the auto block. And we're going to go into our striker now. And we're going to finish this guy off. Probably wouldn't use him in most war situations on that node for that fight. But, you know, what the heck. It worked. Not the prettiest of wars, but there were no deaths, and I'll take that every time. It was great to get Nick Fury into action at least once before he gets locked into defensive duty. And, unfortunately, I forgot to record the mini account fights this time around, so that's going to wrap things up here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop me a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and take care all.